To give a little context to why I went to Copenhagen, a little while back I got an email from PlayStation on behalf of Supermassive Games, the creators of games like Until Dawn and The Quarry, and the email specified that I was being invited to an event in Copenhagen, and it was to promote their upcoming game Directive 8020. And when I first got this email, not gonna lie, I thought it was a scam because the things they were asking us while not telling us anything was a little sus. Basically, they said that they were inviting us for an event in Copenhagen that was supposed to be like a scary experience, but they couldn't tell us really anything. All they asked for was to take pictures of ourselves from like 5 different angles, send a voice note of us introducing ourselves for like 30 seconds, and that was it. Other than that, they didn't really tell us anything. They said that they would book our flights over to Copenhagen, and that was it. Before we knew it, we were packing our bags and heading over to Europe for the very first time. I got to travel with Liz, who you guys know as Liz the Last here on YouTube. We just went off to Europe for the very first time to experience what would be one of the coolest opportunities we ever got as content creators. So without further ado, let's get on with the vlog. A direct flight to Denmark from LA is approximately 11 hours long. I had just taken an almost 20-hour trip to Singapore last October, so this flight honestly wasn't bad for me. I thought Scandinavian Airlines was pretty decent, good leg space, decent food, and lots of movie selections. However, I'm the type to want to sleep most of the flight, so I didn't end up watching anything. Landed in Copenhagen after a 11-hour flight. Honestly, it was really easy. It was smooth. Food wasn't bad either. We're gonna get picked up by a car in like an hour, but for now we're gonna go through customs and pick up our baggage. This was the first time I was ever chauffeured, so it all felt very fancy to me. It was finally hitting me that I was in Europe for the first time ever when I saw all the buildings and architecture driving through the city. We stayed at Coco Hotel, which is in the heart of an area called Vesterbro, which was a great location with easy access to the train, shopping, restaurants, and the rest of the city. We finally made it to our hotel. I'm so freaking tired, but I want to do a quick room tour while everything is still clean. Nothing crazy. A pretty like medium-sized room. Queen bed. There's a really cute courtyard here. Like you can just see straight into the courtyard from this window. And then we also have a pretty big bathroom in terms of how much space there is. But that's pretty much the room. It's like 5 p.m. local time right now, but 8 a.m. in LA, so we are definitely tired. Feels like we basically had like 3 hours of sleep, probably. But I'm gonna power through. I really want to like walk around and wake myself up like that, and then definitely get some food, and that's probably all we're gonna do tonight because we are very tired. Also came in to a really cute letter and also some desserts. So I kind of want to try one. All the buildings are so pretty. Good morning, everyone. Today is our first full day in Copenhagen. I got an okay amount of sleep. I woke up at like 2 a.m. Definitely feeling pretty jet lagged. I couldn't fall asleep until 6 a.m. and it's about like 9 a.m. now. So I might be a little tired later in the day, but I do want to do a lot of like sightseeing since today is our free day. We plan to see a bunch of like outdoorsy stuff, maybe check out some museums. I think it'll just be like a full tourist day today. We're probably going to start off the day getting coffee and breakfast. We started the day walking to a spot called Coffee Fellas where I learned rye bread is really big here. Afterwards, we took the train, which at first I was a little intimidated to do, but Liz was able to handle it like a pro and it was actually really easy to get around. The transportation is elite here. The trains get here like every 2 to 3 minutes. It's clean and much cheaper than getting an Uber. Our first spot was Newham. Sorry if my pronunciation is bad, but that is a spot where the famous colorful buildings are next to the water where Hans Christian Andersen, the author of The Little Mermaid, lived. I feel like this is what I think of when I think of like Copenhagen. Made it.
We're really out here.
We then quickly headed to Amalienborg Palace where we got to see the changing of the guards at noon. Right across the street is Frederick's Church, where you can see the inside of this gorgeous church, and a short walk away is Castellet, a citadel where you can take a nice walk around the area. It kind of reminds me of the beginning of Spirited Away, you know, when she goes through the tunnel and there's no return. Whoa, look at the soldiers. Because this is the fortress, right? We got cherry blossoms in Copenhagen. I thought they were a different kind of tree, but it does look like cherry blossoms.
Damn, they got cherry blossoms in Copenhagen? That's crazy.
We don't need to go to Japan. This was probably one of my favorite parts of the whole trip, just being able to walk around in this nice weather we got super lucky with, seeing the cherry blossoms and walking alongside the water. We also got to see some other iconic things like the Little Mermaid statue, and ended the day with a visit to the Museum of Danish Resistance. Good morning. It is day 2 in Copenhagen. Last night we actually just skipped out on dinner altogether because we were so tired after all the sightseeing that we napped and then woke up and was just too tired to even go out. Yeah, we skipped out on dinner, so we're gonna probably eat a lot at breakfast. Today we're having breakfast in the hotel, and later tonight we have a dinner with the team that invited us for this trip. So that'll be cool. We finally get to meet the people and mingle with the team that made this all happen. So I'm excited for that. But in between now and then, we are doing more sightseeing. We're gonna see like more castles, museums probably. And I wanna do more shopping. I do wanna walk away from Copenhagen with like a little souvenir or like unique piece of clothing or something like that. And I know Copenhagen has a lot of like cool and stylish stuff. But so far, all I'll say is that Copenhagen is freaking beautiful. I think we really got lucky with our timing coming here because yesterday it was so sunny, not a cloud in sight. It was cold a little bit, but even then it was very like a cold day in LA, or like I guess like a typical winter day in the Bay. That's how it felt like. And that's perfect for me because I can't really handle the cold. I do want to check out more food. I feel like we've been so on the go that we haven't really like sat down and picked out more food spots, but that's okay because we're doing a lot of sightseeing anyways. But I can totally see myself coming back to the city for just like complete tourism because it's so beautiful, and I feel like this is a really nice time of the year to visit. I will say though, the city is not cheap to get around. The food and souvenirs and clothing, everything is pretty comparable to like LA prices. So yeah, if you are planning to visit the city, just know it's a little bit expensive. We're doing pretty well in terms of like not overspending and not splurging too much. I haven't really bought anything, just food and transportation, so I'm keeping a good pace for myself, but if I find a shop that I really like, I can see myself going a little crazy. Hopefully, not too crazy though. Our first destination was the King's Garden at Rosenborg Castle. We only went around the castle where there's so much land to take a beautiful stroll in, and I was talking about how it must be so easy to get your daily 10k steps in here if everything looks so pretty like this. Right down the street is the SMK Museum, which is a huge museum housing a lot of amazing art, from European art dating all the way back to the 1300s to contemporary Danish art. It was probably one of the biggest museums I've ever been to, and we spent a couple hours here just to see each part of the building. On the way back, we did some shopping where I bought some ceramics at this shop that seems to make their goods inside the same room they sell them, and we also went to other shops around the area for more home goods and accessories. Store's like dangerous for me. I want everything. Good morning. It is day 3 in Copenhagen, and to catch you guys up on what happened yesterday, we visited another castle and then the garden around it. It was very beautiful. We went to a museum which was so big. It was really cool to see all the art from the different eras that the gallery had. And then we did have our dinner with the team that invited us to this trip. That was really cool. We got to meet a bunch of other creators who were also invited, and yeah, the team that invited us, very nice, very kind, and they were just so accommodating, and it was really cool finally meeting the people who invited us to this trip. But oh, yesterday we also did a bunch of shopping, and that's the one thing that I did want to do yesterday, so I'm glad that I was able to get a few things. So I wanted to do a quick haul. We went to this ceramic shop that is clearly Japanese inspired, and I think all their pieces are handmade, like every single one of them. You can actually see the people making the ceramic pieces behind all the stuff that you can buy. This is the name of it. In Japanese it's actually called Stagio Ahoy. So that's, I'm guessing, how you pronounce this actually. I actually don't know how to pronounce it in English. When I was shopping around the neighborhoods, it makes so much sense why Japanese and Scandinavian styles coincide so much. I now realize why Japandi is such a popular style, because being a Japanese person, I know a lot of the styles that are very popular, and then seeing how all the people in Denmark dress, it makes so much sense. They have really similar aesthetics, and the way they dress and their style, very clean cut silhouettes. I understand totally why Japandi exists now. This is the first thing I got. It is a tea mug, and I got this for my mom since Mother's Day is coming up. I got 2 other mugs. This one is for my partner. I really like the pastel colors that it has, so I think this would be great for him. I also got this mug for myself. I love yellow and pink as a color palette, so any combination of that I was really drawn to. I also went to Rains. I actually didn't know that Rains was a Danish brand, but I just know that it's really popular amongst Japanese people. I got this backpack, very simple. I think it's mostly just an everyday backpack for carrying your laptop and simple things, but I really like how clean it is, and the material is really nice too. And then when I was at the dinner, they also gave us a goodie bag for the game. So here's the tote bag. It says directive. 8020, a poster with all the characters from the game. We have a t-shirt, bag of snacks that says it's a ration pack, which makes sense because the game takes place in space. Freeze-dried fruit flavored candies. And then the last thing are these like cards that have the characters on it. You can actually play like a simple card game with some rules at the bottom of these cards. So that's cool. Those are all the things that I bought and got on this trip. I don't think I'm going too crazy beyond this with shopping. I mostly just want to eat now because, again, Copenhagen is not cheap. So I already spent like probably over 200 bucks just on souvenirs and gifts and stuff for myself. So I think that's a good place to probably stop. And then for today's itinerary, today is the day of the big event. I did hear that other creators actually went yesterday for the main event, and I did hear that it was a pretty cool event. They still haven't told us anything, like they really don't want to spoil anything that we should expect. We really don't know anything. We just like sent pictures of ourselves from different angles and provided some personal information, but that's it. Like we don't know whether we're playing a game demo, which I assume we are. I don't know. They're gonna reveal something that they want to surprise us with. Yeah, they're just really tight-lipped about keeping this a surprise. So I'll be filming everything and trying to capture what exactly the event is. But I'm excited. Before that, I don't think we're gonna do anything crazy. Just getting some breakfast and making sure we're all good for the event. Oh, wow. We arrived at Nordisk Film, the studio lot where the event was taking place. Nordisk Interactive is actually the company that represents PlayStation in the Nordics, which is why we were invited here. When arriving, we were told to get into these spacesuits and try out the Directive 8020 demo while we waited. But I wasn't able to play the demo for long because soon after I was told it was my turn finally for what we've been waiting for. Thank you.
Welcome aboard, Anna Molly. I am the Corinth's Command Interface Oracle. Your transfer from dock has been verified and your crew credentials are now active. Before you proceed to your assigned quarters, you are required to complete an initial biosecurity screening. This is a standard procedure for all incoming personnel. Stand ready for scanning. 10% to completion. No abnormalities detected. 50% to completion. No abnormalities detected. 80% to completion. 100% analysis performed. No abnormalities detected. Caution, security breach and hull impact detected aboard Corinth. Airborne infection is spreading. Proceed at once to the command deck. Reach the commander's desk and initiate manual control override.
This is insane.
Warning, manual override engaged. Corinth's automated defenses are offline. New directive. Take the tactical controller from the commander's desk. Now, you must complete the security simulation to neutralize live threats. Connect to the combat interface. Engage and clear all hostile signatures. This is not a drill. The game is the firewall. If you fail, Corinth falls.
So as you can see, we were brought inside to basically play Directive 8020 inside what looked like a spaceship. The room was entirely made up of LED screens, and I was pretty blown away by the production they set up for this. At this point, we played a segment of the game where our characters were running from the creature that lurked within. I tried locking in for the stealth portion where I had to sneak past the enemy for what felt like forever, but eventually I was unfortunately caught by this door that I took forever to open, and I should have learned how to do the mechanic in the demo, but I knew I was done for when I couldn't figure out the mechanic in time.
Simulation session completed. Status: hostile security threats largely neutralized. Corinth's core systems are stabilizing. Warning: airborne infection dispersal has been partially damaged. Containment is unstable. Biohazard risk remains active. Proceed to debrief and stand ready for emergency decontamination protocols. Initiating mission debrief. Hostile life form detected. Analysis required. We detected a hostile life form with you in the vents. Can you explain what happened in the simulation?
Wait, I got caught opening the door.
My sensors detected that your heart levels were elevated. What emotions did you experience in the simulation?
Fear, anxiety, dread.
Can you detail the life form that you encountered?
Oh my god.
I didn't encounter any life form.
What the hell?
We detected abnormalities in your system. How do you feel right now?
I feel fine. I guess. No, I'm not. No, it's not normal.
Warning: severe airborne infection spreading shipwide. Containment has failed.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, everything's just fine. Just stay there, and I'll come to you.
Evacuate Corinth immediately. Proceed to the nearest exit. Follow the ship's directions. Evacuate Corinth immediately. Proceed to the nearest exit. Follow the ship's directions. Evacuate Corinth immediately. Proceed to the nearest exit. Follow the ship's directions.
Oh my god, that was so freaky. That was so freaky. The AI thing, like, I was like, what the, what the hell was that? How do you feel?
I'm down. Oh my god, that was so scary, That was so scary.
That was so cool.
And like, I had ideas of like what it was gonna be like. And
Yeah, same.
It was kind of blown out of the water. It's a very immaculate, elaborate setup in there because I mean it's a real film studio.
Yeah,
So,
I thought it was gonna be like a maze, and at the beginning I thought it was kind of like that, and then it got into like the spaceship part, and I was like, oh, this is legit.
no,
Like,
I was kind of shitting my pants a little bit when they were like, okay, like you're gonna go in there and they have these huge doors.
yeah,
And you open the doors and then you go straight in and I'm thinking,
Right.
oh my god, F my life, it's gonna be like a haunted house.
I was
It's my
thinking
actual
that
worst
too.
nightmare.
The fact that like you don't really know anything around you, and you're like kind of afraid to like look around, also scared me, because I thought that someone would just like go like this or something, or
Yes.
the alien was gonna come out.
Something like that, and then it was so dark.
Yeah.
Like I was just
I
like
was-
thinking,
I was,
like,
like,
I don't
gonna
know
trip.
what to do. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was really intense.
Shout out PlayStation, shout out Supermassive Games, Directive 8020. Go check out the game.
Yeah.
This was our final full day in Copenhagen, so we decided to take it pretty easy since we were looking forward to heading home now that the event had concluded. We first hit this restaurant that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce, which was apparently on the Michelin guide, that served really fresh Nordic food. It was light, but the dishes had very unique flavors I've never tried before. Then we hit Tivoli Gardens, which is the second oldest amusement park in the world. It's not on the scale of like Disneyland, but it was such a lovely place just to take a walk in. We didn't even ride anything, we just walked around the whole park, looked around, and went to a couple shops. They have a bunch of places to grab food here too. I love how this place, being both a nice park and an amusement park, makes it so people just come here to hang out for fairly cheap.
Yeah, this is so pretty. I think what I like about it is that it feels authentic to just being in the city. Like, you know, in like Disneyland, it's like in the middle of fucking Anaheim. But like here, it feels like it's a natural part of the rest of the city's architecture. So it feels like it's not faking its decor and design, you know.
It's not as jarring as like when you're at Disneyland and you go from a small world to Star Wars.
Yes.
You know?
To end our amazing trip and still take advantage of the beautiful weather we got, we went on a boat tour which took us around to the various parts of the city where we saw a bunch of people out and about, since apparently it was the best weather they've gone all year, and we learned more about the historical buildings in Copenhagen as well as more about the culture of the city. Good morning. It has come down to the final hours we have in Copenhagen. We leave for the airport in about like 3 hours or so, so the only thing really left to do is get breakfast. I'm probably going to pick up a couple of sandwiches for the flight, but yeah, that's it. We had the most perfect final day in Copenhagen, going to the Tivoli Gardens and amusement park. We also went on a boat tour spontaneously, which was so perfect. The weather was amazing. I couldn't believe how many people were just out and about. If we had come even a week later, I think it would have been way colder. So love the city so much. It is so beautiful. I am so grateful that I got to come on a brand trip. This whole trip has been so many firsts, like the first time in Europe, my first time in Copenhagen, my first brand trip at all, and that being an international one. So I've just felt a lot of gratitude this entire time that I've been here, and it's obviously thanks to all the people who watch my content. I would definitely not be here if it wasn't for the support I get on YouTube, on other platforms, wherever people follow me. So thank you so much for that. I am not trying to take it for granted, just being able to have opportunities like this. So yeah, thank you guys for watching up until this point, for watching this vlog. I'm really excited to go home and edit. I'm excited to go home in general. I do miss my cats and my bed. I think 5 days in Copenhagen was actually probably the perfect amount for the city. I do think we were able to cram a lot into this trip, and I think it was the perfect length, given that we also had to come for an event. I really recommend coming here if you have the means to do so. It is a little expensive, but I think it was an awesome city to visit for my first time in Europe. So beautiful, so clean, and the people were very friendly and nice to us. So it was a perfect city for a few Americans that sometimes are nervous to travel to new countries and new places. So yeah, I highly recommend visiting if you can.